Hello, everyone. If you've clicked on this link on YouTube, then you should be seeing me and my course syllabus. This will be your, I guess, Bible, if you will, for the upcoming spring 2026 semester. I have also included a link there that you can actually download, so you can actually have a copy of this if you like, on paper or whatever. But in general, everything that is, I'm going to be scrolling down through here is also in that link as well. So basically, this course is 100% online. So there's not an expectation for you to ever come to class for this particular section. But that being said, I actually am here at COC basically on a full-time basis. So if you definitely want to come see me during office hours or some other time during the week, there's my office hours right there listed, but feel free to reach out to me. I have my cell phone there so that you can text me any kind of question you have, if you want to set up a meeting, whatever. All I ask is if you use that cell phone number and text me, that you put your name in the text so I know who I'm talking to. But anyway, that should kind of give you sort of the important information as to me as far as what to do when trying to get a hold of me, or if you have a question. You guys can read the official course description on your own, but basically this class is going to be covering a lot of different things that have to do with media, everything from television to film to journalism to public relations, advertising, books, radio, the sound recording industry in general. It's a kind of an catch-all of everything that is media. It's going to be a combination, by the way, guys, of not just historical context, but also contemporary uses of media. And so as we go through each and every chapter, hopefully you guys will see a pattern emerge. By the way, if you haven't clicked on my introductory video, which is in the weekly one tasks in the module there, please do so. It'll kind of introduce me and also kind of my expectations. All right, on we go. You should have a textbook that you are going to be purchasing. It's right here. It's this one right here, Media and Culture 14th edition by Richard Campbell. You can also get an online edition. In fact, I would recommend, since this is an online course, that you get rent the online version. It's significantly cheaper than actually buying the book itself. There's a link there if you need a link. But basically, you're going to want to make sure that you hold on to the book at least this semester, because it will be a high value and big help for you to be successful in this course. All right, some other issues. Generally speaking, I reserve the right to alter, change, or delete the assignments and requirements with advance notice. In general, I think being that this is 100% online and everything's kind of self-paced, there's not going to be a lot of change. In fact, when I release a weekly module, unless something critical, like something like all of a sudden like a meteorite somehow delays communication, I think for the most part, things are going to be pretty much as is. All right, I do expect you to regularly check Canvas for course announcements, assignments, discussion forums, tests, and quizzes, and of course, all due dates. I've been very clear, I do not accept late work. So whether it be for a quiz or an exam or some kind of assignment, basically it's on you to make sure you get those in by deadline, just so you know. We may be viewing media materials that are of adult subject matter, graphic in nature, particularly when we get to film. This just some language I have to put in the syllabus, but nothing is too crazy. And of course, one of the things I always have a massive expectation of is that you're in MEA 100, you're in Media and Society. So make sure you regularly monitor all forms of media, including live and multimedia newscasts, news stories, sporting events, entertainment shows, streaming media, internet, social media, everything in between, because that's what we're going to be talking a lot about that this semester. All right, you guys can read the add drop dates. Just one thing I will say is the the withdrawal deadline is actually May 9th. So if for some reason you were really hopelessly behind and want to pull the plug late, that would be the last day to do so. If you feel like you're falling behind in this course, please reach out to me, though. I would love to help. And certainly if you're a bot, I'm just going to drop you. If you're someone that never participates and never turns in work, yes, you will be dropped. So I'm going to be very, very vigilant about that this semester, particularly because it's an online course. So make sure that you are participating. If you are not, I will assume that you are not an actual person, but a fraudulent student, and I will take corrective action. All right. As far as participation, policy, and grading, I think it's self-explanatory. I've already said it, but you're expected to turn in work on time. Again, this includes all course material assigned weekly through the course Canvas. And you can see that there are not any really good reasons to miss a quiz, turn in a quiz late, miss a test, turn in an assignment late, I should say. And certainly in bold there, taking a vacation during the semester and test anxiety are not valid excuses. So if you're going to Europe in the middle of the semester, find an internet cafe, bring your laptop, stay on top of it. All right. Anyway, grading wise, everything is pretty standard. Basically, you earn anything between a 90 to 100, that's an A. Anything between 80 and 89 is a B. 70 to 79 is a C. And on we go. And then this will give you an example of some of the things that we'll be doing this semester. There's an opening week assignment that's up for grabs right now that will give you an easy 15 points. I would take advantage of that. Syllabus quiz obviously is out there as well. And then we're going to get into weekly media participation and discussion topics, quizzes, homework, 2 discussion forums that are actually higher value in points. This is actually incorrect. This should be 60. I do know math, trust me. And we have a midterm. And then, of course, the final week of school will be our final exam. So as for your weekly learning objectives, you can kind of go through this, but we kind of go piece by piece through the through kind of media in general. We kind of talk about sort of the overarching concepts of mass media and mass communication in week 1, which is, I'm assuming this is when you're watching this, during week 2 and 3. So basically the back end of February, we're going to get into chapter 2. Now you'll notice that there are some chapters that have a couple weeks spread. That's just because there's so much ground to cover and so much that you need to take care of that I didn't want to have you guys getting overwhelmed from week to week. So just know that pay attention. Sometimes there will be a couple instances where I give you 2 weeks to get through a module, not just 1. As we get into week 4, we'll get into digital gaming and our media playground. Chapter 4, sound recording and popular music, will be in week 5. That'll be exciting because you get to learn all about the world of sound recording and popular music, and in particular, a particular rant about streaming music, which I don't think you're going to want to miss. Week 6 and 7 will be all about radio. Again, that's a 2-week module right there, and that will include your first major homework assignment. So you will be busy in basically late March. And right before we go to spring break, you're going to get television and your midterm. The goal is not to give you anything to do over spring break. I want you to relax. And then post spring break, of course, one of my favorite sections is film. There's a lot to do there. And that is going to be a 2-week module followed up by a 2-week module for modern journalism, which is also a very involved chapter, or chapters, I should say, plural. And then, of course, following journalism, we get into books, we get into public relations, we get into advertising. And then finally, week 17, which would be the first week of June, the way the schedule works, you'll notice that there's only one thing to do that week, which is the final exam. And that is actually going to be due, just so you can keep track now, June 3rd. That's a Wednesday. I want to make sure that I get everyone done so that I can have your grades ready to go for you by the time we get to the end of that week, which would be, for those of you might be graduating, for the rest of you just going on to your summer and whatever you will be doing. All right, please read the section about conduct. I think the one thing I will just emphasize is that this is an online course. You're kind of, I kind of have an expectation that you're going to be, sort of self-policing yourself. But basically, I understand that AI and chat GPT, and those are kind of very alluring kinds of tools. I'm on the look for it. So I want to see, I want to see your style, your writing style. I want to see what you have to say. And so I'm going to be reiterating throughout the semester how the use of, a chat bot or a GTP, a chat GPT, etc., is not going to be something that I'm going to be keen on in this class. And if I, see a blatant, obvious example of it, you will get a 0 on that particular assignment. So don't do it. All right. Anyway, you can go through the statement on academic integrity at College of the Canyons. There it all is. Please read through that. Management of stress and mental health. Definitely, I understand school can be stressful. Life can be stressful. And when the two of them kind of meet in the middle of the road, things can go south quickly. Just know that you have resources here at College of the Canyons. There's a nice link here to our student service health folks that are right across from the bookstore. They're amazing people. There's a phone number there for you. And certainly, I know life can get sometimes overwhelming. Just hold your hand up if you need help. You know what I mean? That's the most important thing I can tell you about that. Other classes to remember. So MEA 100 is kind of our gateway course to a lot of other exciting opportunities within our MEA department. We have a great film program. Obviously, I'm in charge of a journalism program. We also have animation, which is fantastic. And so basically, if you ever want to learn more about what we do, or you get excited about certain things that we cover in class that you might want to try as a career path, or just, learn more about, by all means, reach out to me. This is a lecture course. MEA is known for being hands-on, and so we have a full working studio here with all sorts of cool equipment, and we have a cupboard full of instructors, both full-time and part-time, that not only teach but are also working full-time in the industry in various jobs and roles. So if we were in person, I would be, obviously trying to talk more about that, but that we're virtual, by all means, if you want to know more about who's here and who's running these classes, reach out to me. Anyway, that's it for your syllabus. I just want to wish you again good luck this semester. There is a quiz, so make sure you take it at the end of this video. All right.